3, 2, 1, beep. Over to you live in the studio.
Well, look who's returned.
Is this Will and Grace? Beverly Leslie.
Beverly Leslie is a homosexual. Well, let's have it out, a wee man. Well, where have you been?
Well, oh, honey, I have been across Europe.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Right. You've been on
the third leg of my cross-continental European world tour. Gran Canaria.
Oh, of course. Did you have a good time?
Yes. Oh, I love it. Sparkle Show Bar. I adore you.
I've seen quite a lot of people were there.
Oh my word. It was Winter Pride.
It was Winter Pride, but
and it was the busiest.
I was going to say, I've seen a lot of, obviously we know quite a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people on my Instagram who were uploading stories, and like listeners of the pod, for example. I've seen quite a lot of them uploading their videos and their stories, but it looked to be very busy.
It really, oh my God, it was mental. I was doing a turn on the Wednesday and then a wee turn on the Friday. Now, I had a few dramas.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh, see me went into our apartments. Honest to God, I'm not telling the word of a lie. He put a wee lilac coloured bangle on me. You know, one of them wristbands.
Oh, this is for like to get in and out of the venue and whatever. Yes.
That's the first time in years that's ever happened to me, and I felt nothing but I just didn't like it.
Oh, do you think somebody was it was a hex?
Yes. I was like, this is not agreeing with my aura at all. I was like, I want that wee lilac bangle off me. I swear to you, I've worn a bangle from I was 13. But yeah, I mean, it was lovely. It was really hot and sunny.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it as long as that temperature stays.
And this week, we left, it was 34 degrees.
Fabulous.
Gorgeous.
Cannot wait.
No, what about you, honey? What have you been up to?
Well, I have been up to quite a bit, actually.
Ooh.
Do you like cocktails?
I do.
What's your favourite cocktail?
Well, I had this one in Gran Canaria and I had a jalapenos.
What? Never heard of jalapenos in a cocktail.
Yeah.
What? Can you remember the name of it?
Bitter tasting thing, and I just chose it because the other two were drinking these creamy, smoky coffee kind of cocktails, and oh my God, it's a bar called the Tipsy Hammock. Okay. Listeners, if ever you're in Gran Canaria, Playa del Inglés, go down to the beachfront and look for the Tipsy Hammock.
Can you remember the name of the cocktail, or what was the key ingredient? Was it vodka or gin or whiskey?
It came to me there, and
sorry.
Oh my God, oh God, hold on, let's stick my tongue out. What's that say? I can't really. Bramble, no. Oh.
What was the main ingredient in it? Was it vodka, gin?
It was like a vanilla, vodka, cream, brown sugar, caramel kind of sort of sauce, and then all around the rim of the glass was frosted.
Do you like a frosted rim?
Oh, I love a frosted rim.
What about a salty rim?
Every day. I love a salty rim. But I wasn't drinking that night, you see.
Oh, okay.
I didn't, and just that one.
Did you have it virgin?
Well, one or two. So
we're still talking about cocktails, right?
Know. You stop that now. You're getting wild. What's happened to you?
You were on your hollypops, sure.
I know.
I know what you're like when you're away, Miss Legs.
Listen, I'm like out of home, love. But yes, I went for that really over the top, the most. I enjoyed it though, because Kathy took a sip of it and she was like, "Oh my God!" And then Jake took a sip of it and he like, "What? Are you crazy?" And I actually really liked that.
Okay.
Because the bartender, when he brought it over to me, he sat it down, he goes to me, "Good luck." And I was like, "Oh,
it's one of those ones.
Are you trying to scare me, honey?" And it really was. It was really bitter and it was really coarse, and I think there was petrol in it, and there was cough medicine. And
like any good cocktail.
Yeah, and a wee drop of domestos. So it was lovely. I tell you what, cleared me out.
I was going to say, that'll keep you clean. Well, the reason why I'm actually asking is because last weekend we went on a tasting tour.
I seen that on the media.
A tasting tour. I don't know if you've ever heard of a tasting tour, but they do. It's a Belfast.
Say that when you're drunk.
Well, I could just about by the end of the night. I have to tell you.
I thought so.
So on the Saturday, we went on a tasting tour, cocktail tour. Now they do like a whole bunch of different tours that you can do. You can do like a gin tour or a beer tour or whatever. But we done the cocktail one. So a friend got Gary it for his 40th. So like we thought we'd go along. I had a voucher for an overnight stay in the Merchant.
Ooh,
so we actually stayed in the Merchant Hotel for a night as well.
Lovely.
But back to the cocktails.
Okay.
So they start off outside the Merchant Hotel. Everybody sort of meets up. And then they take you inside the Merchant into a small room in the side. And then they start to tell you about kind of like the history of cocktails. Particularly, you know, the origin of the cocktails, where that sort of came from.
Yeah, the history.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they started talking about, you know, cocktails through the years, and particularly because we were in such an iconic building, such as the Merchant. They were talking about, you know, how cocktails started as punch bowls, and talking about the colonization of India and how they used to transport ice halfway across the world and all this good stuff.
Okay.
After there, then we left and we went to Rattlebag. It used to be called Baltic. It's on the corner of Ann Street. So do you know where AIG Bank is?
Yes.
First Trust. There's a small, so it's a part of the Bullet Hotel below where Tito
I know,
is.
yes, I know where
There's
it
like
is.
an unassuming door. So that's called Rattlebag.
Okay.
So we went in there, and again, the guys in there talked about the cocktail that we were served. We got one cocktail per every bar that we went to, and every bar offered a different type of cocktail. So they had a Collins cocktail in there, so it was carbonated water. Now, Rattlebag are one of the as I understand it, the only place in Belfast that does their own carbonization of like tonics and things on site. So it doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from like CO canisters behind the bar, which they literally, like a giant soda stream basically behind the bar.
Was it nice?
It was really nice. It was really refreshing.
Good.
I mean, for me, I'm not really a cocktail person. I am a vodka Diet Coke drinker. Used to formerly gin, but I had to stop drinking the gins because it was giving me bad acid reflux. But like it was surprisingly refreshing. It was a nice kind of summer, late summer afternoon, you know, drink. It was really, really tasty.
A late summer soiree.
Yes, but the cost of cocktails nowadays,
Much.
£13.
Away on.
£13 for a cocktail. I was like, what in the good name? Like,
Do you go to the Little on the Shore Road with £13? I swear to be, you come out with 2 bagfuls. And 2 bags for life.
That's half a cost of a litre bottle of vodka.
I know. £13 for one cocktail.
I mean, now I have to say the experience, which is kind of, I think probably why the prices are so high in there. And it is something that I would say cocktails is obviously a lifestyle choice. Would you call it a lifestyle choice?
I wouldn't call it what I would call it. I would call it a socialite choice.
Socialite choice. That's a really good way.
When you're out and you want to do your Instas and you want to do your bake book and you want to do your threads and you want to do your X, formerly known as Twitter, you got to hold a classy cocktail and then you tag the bar you're in. So I look at these socialite cocktail drinkers and they can only afford one.
Well, but this is it, because the price of them is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, of course.
Of course.
However, the Rattlebag is a Pinnacle bar. Have you ever heard of this?
Never.
So a Pinnacle bar, there's only 37 bars in the entire world designated a Pinnacle badge. And a Pinnacle badge is the equivalent to bars that a Michelin star is to food. Apparently it's some kind of newfangled thing anyway. They told us all about it. But yes, I can recommend going there, but you'd need to remortgage your house to go and actually have a night out there. So anyway,
put in for a crisis loan.
Put in for 5.
Oh,
so after there, we then went from Rattlebag to a speakeasy called Angels and Two Bibles.
What?
It's a bar called Angels and Two Bibles. So it's above the Deer's Head.
Oh.
So it's like, again, as you're walking in towards the Deer's Head, just a little to the left, you'll see like an icon of like angel wings.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the icon above the door. So you have to press a buzzer to get in.
Oh, I like that.
And then you have to go the whole way up the stairs.
Sounds naughty.
And it's a really small kind of speakeasy bar, like there's 35 seats. It's tiny. Like it's a really small bar. I had a spiced pumpkin whiskey sour.
Well, funny you should say that. I've just remembered the name of the cocktail that Jake and Kathy were drinking. It was a creamy pumpkin pie.
Real okay, interesting.
Creamy pumpkin pie.
Okay, so did it have like cinnamon spices and
cinnamon
stuff?
and caramel
that sounds good.
And then it had like the real thick lumpy brown sugar all around the rim, and Jake was in heaven.
Oh yeah,
he was like, you can't get these anywhere else in the world. Because we discovered these about 4 years ago when I brought them down and I said, here's a tipsy hammock. And there is a big hammock. It is the most popular bar, apart from Sparkles, in Playa del Inglés. Very vibey and real live music. And, you know, it's like, wow. Yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah.
So I had a spiced pumpkin whiskey sour. It was kind of, and they work on like a 12-week rotation of their menu in there.
Oh, very good.
So you're like, if you go in now, you'll get like a menu for, they call it the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Right.
Everything is suitable. It's vegan friendly. So they don't use egg whites. They use egg white substitute and so on for all of their drinks. So we had a drink in there. Really tasty. Really nice venue. Very small. Very, very bougie. Like, you know, it's only open on a Friday and Saturday.
Very demure.
Very, very mindful. So we left there and then we went to a place called the Spirit Circle above the National, and they gave us 3 cocktails in there. One was a shot of Hennessy that had been sweetened with brown sugar. Now, I'm not a whiskey drinker.
No.
Do you like whiskey?
No.
So this was really tasty.
Was it?
Like it took the edge off. Like you could feel, I don't know, if you know when you drink a whiskey, you can sort of feel it burn as it goes down.
Yeah.
You could sort of feel the heat as it was going down, but the taste was so sweet. It was really bizarre. They then give us an old fashioned and a margarita.
Margarita.
Without the salty rim, because I did not like a salty rim on a drink. No, cannot. I don't know. It's really bizarre. I just don't do salt in general.
Right.
As part of the taste tour, they have you ever heard of like a sensorium?
No.
So if you kind of break it down, sensorium. So they have like, they do this thing called a sensorium, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, where you can go in and what they'll do is they'll give you drinks.
Yeah.
But they'll stimulate all of your senses. So they'll put in like a mint sort of fragrance in the air.
Oh.
And then they'll play a certain type of song or a particular style of music. And then they'll turn the lights to a different color and all the rest of it.
Mood setting.
Pretty much. But what they explained is that the drink will taste different based upon the kind of like the lights that they've put on, the music that and the scent that they're putting into the atmosphere. I thought that was really fascinating.
It's very clever. They
also do a thing called, and this is a separate tour, but it's called Belfast by the Glass.
Oh.
And they basically will give you like a history lesson on Belfast.
Oh, good.
But then serve you drinks off maybe the time or to sort of suit
from that period,
a certain situation or a particular time within Belfast history. Again, fascinated by it. Can highly recommend if you're looking for something to do or a gift to give to somebody. A taste and tour. It's particularly good fun.
Yeah.
And then you're not on there on your own either. You're there with other people, so you get to meet new people as well.
Yeah.
Like Gary and I had done a taste and tour beer one before. And they'd done like, they took us around to all the local bars, and then they give you like a particular beer that had been brewed either by that bar or it was a particular blend. I'm not a fruity beer kind of person, but we had good fun that day. Again, got pissed.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Do you know what I mean? I was about to ask you, what was the outcome? Steaming.
We were pretty lit, I'm not going to lie.
Good.
But I mean, it was good fun, but it was something completely different that we had never done before. And it was a great way of being able to sort of spend a Saturday afternoon.
Well, because I seen your post and I thought, oh, right, just because I'm on the third leg of my cross-continental European world tour, Flossie has to go and get himself a wee tasting tour all around Belfast. But I have to say, the group shot of you is on the steps of the Merchant outside. I thought, wow. I love that shot. And then I was trying to nosy in. Did you take the photo?
No. So the tour guide, tasting tour guide took that photo. And then after the tour, they sent like an email. Right. Sort of like, here's your group photo.
To each and every one of you?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
And then asked for feedback and all that kind of good stuff,
Excellent.
But
that sounds lovely, and I would definitely be interested in doing it, but maybe after Christmas.
Oh, okay.
After Christmas.
Well,
Too much on, love.
Stay tuned for
Yes,
that one.
absolutely.
We could try and do a podcast after. What do you reckon?
Or we could do a podcast while
we're on it.
Tour.
I actually thought about that,
I'm sure you did.
because we could just take it mobile. But we went out for dinner after that anyway, and we went to Sticks and Stones Meat Wagon.
Right.
It's kind of like a fast food joint, but it's kind of like upmarket. It's kind of like a bit like an American diner, that kind of idea.
I love that.
But food was really good. We're half cut, so they could have served us dog food.
Yeah.
And we still would have ate it. But after that, then we went to Birch Jazz Bar. Which is part of the Merchant Hotel. Do you know whenever you've got first of all, I wasn't
residency?
I wasn't dressed up, first of all. I was out with the pair of trainers on, pair of jeans. Aye. And of course, Birch Jazz Bar is a respectable establishment.
Of course.
So there's me up. I mean, Gary looked the part. Me, I looked as if I'd just done a marathon around Primark or something like that, Rocked up to the door and the bouncer. Lads, reservations only the night. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So I sort of just paused and I went, okay. What if you're a hotel guest? And then you could sort of see him going, oh, right, okay. Do you have your key card? And of course, I whipped out the key card and he was like, come on, welcome to Bert's Jazz Bar.
Really?
Aye. But didn't even say, do you have a reservation or anything like that?
He just made an assumption.
Pretty much.
You know what? But in fairness and finding a balance, I'm sure there's a lot of people approach those bouncers to get in there and they're not residents.
Tina, I wouldn't have let me in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, the fellas,
he's a good judge of character.
He's a very good judge of character. God love him, because I'm sure they've made mistakes in the past. Lots of my heart goes out to the door staff of any place, any city, especially Belfast. You've got to make a split decision within 2 seconds.
Yeah,
it's either yes or no. Then you have to find a reason to tell them when the answer is no.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Here's a question for you.
Go.
What is your view on automatic tipping?
I like it.
So when we were in Birch Jazz Bar, we actually sat at the bar, and Gary ordered a pint of beer Moretti, and I ordered a vodka Diet Coke.
Okay.
Came to £17.
Wow.
But they were actually adding on 10% gratuity
tip them then
to every single transaction.
I wouldn't tip them then.
But how do you feel about that? Because we were a little bit conflicted. I understand it's an establishment, so people, it attracts a certain type of clientele.
Of course it does.
But
who can afford it?
Yeah, but I guess, I don't know, I was a little bit conflicted just because I like to offer a tip rather than it being taken.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It depends where I am, and it depends on the type of service I'm getting. I don't mind where I am. I don't really care about the cost. If the staff are lovely and they're professional and they make you feel welcome, I will be the first person to say, take a couple of pound there for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's even an added cost on. But if I'm in somewhere and somebody's in a bad mood, we all have our off days.
Yeah.
And I would be that type of person to go, no, you're not getting a tip. And I understand the whole hospitality thing and all of this, and you can have a bad day, or you could walk in the best mood and the next thing your shift turns to, and but I think it's important to remember, if you're going to tip someone, tip them because they're worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that not everybody isn't, but my point is, if you're in that game, that's your employment, that's your career.
Yeah.
Do it the best you can.
Yeah.
And you'll always get somebody saying to you, take a wee fiver.
Yeah.
Tell you, take a wee tenner. Do you know what I mean? You really, really will. I agree with it, but I have my own terms and conditions is what I'm saying.
And I think this is it, right? So I'd understand it if it was table service.
Yes.
But we were sitting at the bar, there were, it felt to me that it was a bit opportunistic. I felt
rich.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If I'm in Union Street, for example, you know, I'll always offer the staff, take one for yourself or whatever, you know, like I will try and do that. I don't know. I like it to be something that I'm offering rather than someone just presented me with a card machine that says, by the way, there's 10% added on to that.
Well, then I wouldn't give a tip.
You know, I don't know. Of course, Gary and I had a whole conversation about it.
I'm sure
it's polarizing. It's polarizing, and I understand that, you know. But, you know, the price of the drinks in there, I figured that, like, you know, if the staff are needing the tips, they need to pay their staff more, because that place is like raking in a ridiculous amount of money.
Because they're getting all the big wigs and the shirts and ties and collars and, you know, the briefcases and you know, doctors, lawyers and nurses. Oh my. Well,
they were actually saying that millionaires fly from all over the world just to sit in their bar.
Yeah. In Bert's.
Yeah, well, Bert's or the Merchant's Hotel bar.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, the guys that started the Dead Rabbit, I think that's what you call it, in New York, like they were the ones that sort of revolutionized cocktail making, or I don't know, rebooted cocktail making. I can't really remember the term that he used, but he was saying that people would fly from all over the world just to sit in their company and watch them make drinks for them. But that got me thinking, like, how the other half must live, really.
Yeah.
Like, if you can afford just to fly in on a plane and sit in a bar and watch somebody make drinks for you.
Yeah, if you're sitting in London, where you want to go tonight, Pat, we'll go to Bert's. Jeffrey, get the plane.
Yeah. Julio, get the stretch.
Julio, get the stretch. Back to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gonna kiss myself. I'm so pretty.
So the Cars were in town?
Were they?
They were.
How many of them?
All four of them, apparently.
I thought there was 400 of them. Jim and Mary and Bernie and Dolores and Kerry.
Don't forget Jim.
And Big Jim. Where were they playing?
At the Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
Mm-hmm. Right, apparently they were very good. Natalie Umbrella, as somebody on Instagram called her, Natalie Umbrella.
Umbrella. Oh, she's torn. She is. She's
terrible umbrella, isn't she?
Hey.
But yeah, they were in town this week as well.
Good.
Do you read?
No.
You don't read? Why not?
I wish I had the patience to read, but my mind doesn't let me, because I'm always thinking of something. I like to be active. I'm too physical for my own good. And my arse does make buttons. Now, as you know, I'm a good get her up and go and get it done kind of girl.
Indeed.
And if there's something that needs doing, I will not sit in my laurels and wait for it to be done.
Yeah.
Because I think if I get up now and I'll get this done, then I'll do it. I've always, and then that goes against me. If I'm sitting reading, I won't focus. I will read if it's important. I have to read. But to sit, I would love to be a reader, because I know it would be so good for me. But at the end, I kind of, I've tried it and then I get bored.
I'm kind of the same as you. I think I can start a book, but then as I'm starting to read the words,
it bores me.
I'm starting to think about what I'll maybe have for food.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the latest album from Lady Gaga has dropped.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that way. And before I realise that I've read the words, but I haven't actually took any of it in.
The last book I read was Tina Turner's life story, and I got to like 3/4 of the way through and my mind started drifting. And I put a bookmarker in, and it's still sitting in the wee room on the wee table with a bookmarker, and I just don't have it in me to sit. It's nothing. And my mind's too active, and I like being physical. I like to get up and go and do and achieve and finish a product that I put my hands to. If I was sitting reading,
the book.
Yeah, exactly. My mummy is the best reader you've ever come out. My mummy has books and books and books and books and books, and she'll read from page 1 to 300, and she will not put it down until it's finished.
Could you listen to an audio book?
No.
Not even that?
No.
I used to listen to audiobooks I used to work in Portadown years ago, and I would have to drive from Belfast to Portadown, and I would literally listen to an audiobook. It's the only way I could like read, for the reasons I've just mentioned.
So it was being read to you. Yeah. Maybe when I'm a wee bit older I might.
When you can finally sort of relax and switch off.
Yeah. When I can put my feet up. And you remember we had a discussion a while ago about airports and stuff like that. And when we were coming back from Gran Canaria, God love him, he must have just passed his training. And there was like 6 desks for EasyJet.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was doing everything one finger at a time.
Oh, flip, right.
So the other 2, Andrew and Brona, jumped over into the other queue because it seemed to go filtered right down. So I jumped in with them.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we got to the top to check our luggage in, there was only 2 people had moved up, and Kathy and Jake were still way at the back.
Jeez, right.
So a French guy started to shout.
Flip. As in a passenger French guy?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
This is terrible. This is terrible. And and the wee fella was mortified. And I really thought, you know what? What were you like on your first day?
But like it's sort
and
of...
the supervisor had to come over and intervene and help him along, and he was getting all flustered, and it took Kathy and Jake nearly an hour to get through.
Jeez.
And I really felt so sorry for him. But you know one thing I did? Ooh. This is the first time I've flown with EasyJet for many, many, many years.
C29F?
That's it. And I was so impressed with the flight, I sent a lovely email to the head office.
Oh, that's good.
And I commended Stephanie and the entire crew for their friendliness, their professionalism, their punctuality, their communication, and just their overall general, you're going on holiday, we're going to make you feel good kind of sort of approach. And as we were leaving the plane, I said to her, so it says Stephanie on your badge, she was like, yeah. And I said, do you mind if I send an email complimenting you and the staff? And she went, really? And she said, yeah. So I got a reply today, and they were so happy that not that many people, when something is nice and something is good and you feel like you're being treated, you know, so that's the way we felt. And it would encourage her, and she was only in her 20s, and all the crew, and she said, you know, EasyJet had said, if people would take the time to remember the good stuff, you know, and this email will filter down through the staff that there are people out there who will actually take the time to say thank you. And I was so impressed by them. So fair play to EasyJet. Thank you for
well done, EasyJet.
Yes, well done, EasyJet. I will be back. Yes.
Well, we are out of time.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Not so fast.
So don't forget, if you'd like to support our podcast, then please consider joining us on Patreon. For the cost of a drink per month, you could listen to all of our episodes early, get access to exclusive digital content, get discounts to G&T shows. Memberships start from free, with paid memberships starting from £3, £4 and £5.50 per month, with each tier offering increased benefits. Your support really helps us keep the conversation flowing. So join us at www.patreon.com/GNTpod.
So don't forget, message us on socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just look up G&T Pod. Don't forget, if you have a question, issue or dilemma and you would like us to help, then reach out. You will find all the ways to get in touch in the description of this episode. And, of course, leave us a wee review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and share the pod with your friends.
But we do have just a spare 5 minutes.
Shot.
Everybody.
Okay, Glenn, Marshall Adams, DJ Glenn. I'm going to ask you 5 very quick fire questions, and I just want one answer and one answer only. Can I have 20 seconds on the clock, please?
Ding.
3, 2, 1. Would you ever appear on a reality show?
I would love to appear on a reality show.
Do you think you could win a game show?
Yes, Lingo, once you enroll us.
I can't wait. Have you ever moved across country?
Yes, I moved from Dumfries to Northern Ireland.
Do you speak more than one language?
Si, oui, I.
Do you consider yourself tech savvy?
Oh, of course.
Do you vote in local elections regularly?
Always.
Have you ever won a contest?
No.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, are you ready?
Born.
Here we go. If you were a mythical creature, which one would you be?
A dragon.
What planet would you like to take a vacation on?
Jupiter.
If you had to be a household item, which one would you be?
Table.
What vegetable is the scariest?
Carrot.
Which fruit has the best sense of humour?
Banana.
What is the weirdest superpower anybody could have?
Being invisible.
If you were a sound effect, which one would you be? Of all the colours, which is the most chaotic?
Black.
Which animal secretly rules the world?
The elephant.
You do like elephants?
I love elephants.
Okay. I think we're getting into the swing of this
Yes.
now. Well, that is all we have time for.
Aww.
But we will be back next week.
Yes.
With a full episode.
Wallop.
And until next time,
Chin chin.
thanks for tuning in to this episode of G&T Sips and Giggles. If you've enjoyed our conversation, then don't forget to share it with your friends, and why not subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Your reviews mean the world to us and really help others find the show, so please take a moment to leave one. But be kind. If you'd like to support the podcast, why not consider joining us on Patreon? For the cost of a drink a month, you can listen to episodes early, access exclusive digital content, and get discounts to upcoming G&T shows. Your support helps us keep the conversation flowing. Cheers, we'll see you next time. Chin chin.